break down a couple different categories and break it down by bots and break it down by these potential superusing accounts and name some of these accounts and break down the collusion at the highest level at Potlam and Omaha from what I've seen, and also that goes over in the tournament world as well too. Hey guys, I just recorded this video, but I wanted to put this back in the beginning, and I just want to say that, you know, in the process of this, you know, this has been really on my mind so much because I feel like I'm going nuts. I feel like I'm going crazy. I have spent hours watching the screen, hours watching these accounts, hours watching the lobby, just analyzing what the tendencies are of players, going over hands from all these different streets of all these different players, talking with people as much as I can about their own experiences playing with these players. And I'm like, I want to believe that I'm all wrong here. I want to believe that I'm wrong about this stuff, but man, just what I see here, what I see there, evidence I hear, messages you get here, what you observe there, it's just really hard to argue with it, man. So I appreciate you guys watching this, and let me know what you think. But ultimately, stay away from America's Card Room cash games starting right now. Stay away. What's going on, guys? So this is a video that, you know, it's been on my mind to want to make for a bit of time now. If you guys have noticed a change in my attitude, if you've noticed a change in my overall morale, this is a big reason why that's been taking place, because I know I have to make this video at some point in time, and I know the potential repercussions this might have on the online poker cash game and how people view online poker right now. But, you know, I'm just under a massive belief that there's widespread cheating through botting, through collusion, through potential super using, and through players playing more than one account at the same time at the highest stakes games for cash games on the Winning Poker Network / America's Card Room. I think they have other skins too. And now, you know, it's not a happy video to make for a lot of reasons. You know, I played a lot of America's Card Room. I love the site. It's given me an option to play here in America. I've had a relationship with Phil, the CEO. I've had a relationship with Dan, who works at the site as well. They've helped me out with things in the past. I've made a video or two for them when I covered the cage. You know, so I've enjoyed the site. I've recommended the site with a disclaimer whenever I brought this up. But, you know, I've had these suspicions for a while. It's kind of, you know, I know bots are always taking place on there. These bots have been on ACR for a while now. But I had a couple things happen recently, and it's just the final straws for me. And now I've recorded hours of footage. I've spent hours of my time just going over hands of different players, just like driving myself a little crazy, talking to all different players, talking with bot manufacturers, talking with bot account runners, people who run these bots for different sites or allegedly or whatever. And, you know, I spent a lot of time on this. I wanted to do something where I could combine that all together in a good way, but I just, you know, I don't know, man. I got to put this out right now. And, you know, I sent Phil, the CEO, I sent him a message. I said, hey, I'm going to make a video about this because I think there's widespread issues going on the site. You know, like, you know, if you want to talk about it beforehand, you know, get in touch. 6 days later, he's like, okay, let me know. I mean, obviously, he doesn't give a fuck, okay? So he doesn't care what's happening. Well, yeah, obviously, if you own the site, you see what your games are running. You understand it's all Eastern Europeans on your platform. You're not fucking dumb. You know, you're down in Costa Rica down there. Who knows what's happening in Costa Rica? But I know these guys aren't dumb. So they have to know what's happening. 6 days later, they say, okay, what you got? I mean, I don't know, man. So here I am, you know, making this video. I'm going to break down a couple different categories. I'm going to break it down by bots. I'm going to break it down by these potential super using accounts and name some of these accounts, and break down the collusion at the highest level at Potlam and Omaha from what I've seen. And also that goes over in the tournament world as well too. So a couple straws for me was, and this was probably, I don't even know which one's bigger, to be honest with you, because both of these are, you know, both of these are pretty kind of, you know, a little messed up to me. So lately I've been noticing, for a while it was, the bots have always been there, but the bots you can beat. Even if they're sharing cards, you know, they're not the best bots, but they're solid players, solid bots. And then you'd have the Americans mixed in there. Americans are always terrible, for the most part. At mid-stakes, if you see an American, they're always awful. They were awful before. And then you'd have the random Israelis in there, and you'd have the fun players. There are a lot of fun players showed up from time to time, and, you know, you just like a nice dynamic with them. You'd win, you lose. It was a very real dynamic. You regulars, you lose and you'd win. It was a very authentic and real feeling. And then something's been happening on there. I don't quite know what it is or how to explain it, but it's a lot of inauthentic, non-human-like play that's taking place with accounts that all of a sudden have showed up and now are playing every table. You know, not always from non-America as well. Some of these are America. It's just very, very strange what's happening. A lot of the fun player accounts have kind of gone away. The fun players that you think are fun that are playing aren't really fun. And when you pour over their stats, you'll notice they have some tendencies, which I'll talk more about. And this is the big one, right? There's this account from Turkey named Sleepyberry. I have spent hours observing this account, hours recording this account. This is an account from Turkey that showed up. And now lately I've been getting suspicious of some of these accounts that show up at 1-2 and 2-4 that play these, you know, very awful stats. You know, pre-flop, they play VPIP, PFR, or 3-bet, just not a winning strategy these guys are playing. But they don't seem to lose, right? You don't seem to get many value bets in against them. They just don't seem to be making too many mistakes post-flop. You're kind of confused. You're like, what's happening here, okay? All right, you know, I get it, right? Whatever, variance, it happens. It happens, right? But there are certain accounts where it just feels and plays weird. And this is one account specific where you sat down, you get into these like too good to be true spots. And then I remember I had one spot happen where this guy's playing solid and all of a sudden it just makes like a perceived terrible play. And I sit there, I see him make it, and I say, oh no, is this really going to happen to me? You know, I got like a top set. I'm going to be able to go over this hand in some future videos. And of course, you know, he stacks me with like a backdoor flush. I'm like, okay. Then I go observe him. He moves up higher stakes. He goes, sits down, plays a guy. Another guy heads up for forever. Don't lose any money. Normal heads up, you know, you're a fun player. There's going to be losses and wins. And then he sits me. And I say, oh, hell no. These motherfuckers, they've been trying to get me on here, okay? So I say, I'm going to play this guy 2 hands. First hand, he min 3-bets me. I'm like, this guy's been battling heads up for the last hour. All of a sudden, a solid player min 3-betting me. You know, of course, I get stacked. I could have avoided it. It's true. I could have. But I had a top pair, flush draw, gut shot, backdoor, everything. I'm like, man, well, let's go ahead, donate for the cause. And then that really fired me up. So I started tracking this guy. Every time I saw him on, I started tracking his play. And this must be the best player in the entire world, my friends, because he just kept moving up 5-10. And there'd be sometimes I came in the chat one time, I said, stop cheating. Stop, like, what do you, get off this guy's a cheater. And then he immediately sat out, left the table. And the next time he didn't do it, I was like, that's a little strange. Okay. So this is one account I am 99% sure is doing something. And that guy sitting me, I said, man, all right, man, go abuse these other guys. You're going to sit me on the site. I'm playing all the time on the site. Get the fuck out of here. There's one other account I've been watching a lot, and that's ElJackEl from New York. Now this account, once again, man, it's just like you play with these accounts, and they when they make a crazy out of line play pre-flop, they seem to, when they show that hand down, they win the hand. You're like, okay, makes sense. You try to get a value bet in on them against them on the river, you're not getting any value bets in on the river. It's a very inauthentic play. I've played millions of hands with people. I've played 10+ million hands. I know, I even track now in color code who an authentic player is. Because you can just tell, you win some, you get a value bet in, they call. Okay, they got to call at the top of the range. It just happens. You get a couple multi-streets in, you bet 2 streets, they fold the river. Like, these are just normal things. You win a buy-in, they win a buy-in, there's some battling going on. And with these accounts, and with plenty more accounts, this inauthentic dynamic is just not there. And now when we dive into bots on America's Card Room, I have personally witnessed the worst bot ring of all time at Nolan Hold'em, and I played Nolan Hold'em one time. I witnessed an Italian bot ring, all sit down at the same time, all end up timing out at the same time over the course of it. And I'm like, what? This is insane. These are the worst. These are the worst for people of all time. I personally witnessed and recorded a bot at the mid-stakes PLO tables and small stakes ones that min bet for 2 hours straight, who I had seen previously play a very solid style. And other players on the forums have spotted this. Now, we know bots are very real in online poker. They were the biggest winners on PokerStars at mid-stakes for a very long time. They didn't all play the same overall. They played different styles, different areas. Some were aggressive, some were passive. And now these bots, if you know about bots, they have player profiles. You as the bot creator, you sit there while the bot plays if you want to sit there. That's how it works. You can choose to turn it off, choose to turn it on, choose to deviate potentially from strategies, but you can edit the player profile in all these different areas. So you're going to have a basic game plan strategy approach, your strengths, and then you're going to edit these other little areas to mix up the bots. This is exactly what those bots did. There have been bots in the past at the PLO tables on America's Card Room. And that's what those bots did. They each kind of mixed it up a little bit. There have been reported bots, many bots at Nolan Hold'em on 2+2 on the PLO tables. No response from the reps, no nothing. It's just like nothing, right? And why do they give a fuck? They're making all this rake on there. They're overlaying hundreds of thousands of dollars in their Sunday tournament now. Like, to me, something's changing. And you see these massive overlays in these tournaments, and you say, well, what's happening here? You know, what's going on? And here we are. Here I am making this. You know, there's been reported heads-up sit-and-go bots, and they kind of all link back to Eastern European, man. Russia, Belarus, Ukraine. Like these, if you go look right now, and this is PLO, right? It is overtaken with these accounts. There are accounts right now, this was just posted earlier, they play 10 cent, 25 cent. They played hundreds of thousands of hands. They are crushing the games. These guys play all the time, but it's only two at a table for the most part. They don't go down really past 5 cent, 10 cent. There's one of them, I think a couple at 5 cent, 10 cent. They don't go below that. And then 10 cent, 25 cent, there's a couple always playing. Right now, it's just overtaken with these bots. They play all the tables, 50 cent dollar, even now up to 1, 2. They kind of mix in there from time to time. They work their way back down. It is crazy. This is just at PLO. This is what I follow a ton. And Nolan Hold'em is 100% there as well. So the bots, these bots cannot be disproven. These bots are taking place. These bots are there and present. And nothing's being done about them. And now we talk about the other straw I mentioned earlier. That's collusion at the highest level. And now this one, guys, this one's fucked up. All right, this is fucked up. So, you know, I got a message, right? I got the most detailed message I've ever received. And it said, hey, Joey, you know, I wanted to bring this to your attention. There's an account I know that started playing high stakes Pop in Omaha and is using more than one account, has capabilities to use more than one account. Named the account and then mentioned how there might be more accounts in that ring that he uses. So I said, all right, like, you know, a long, detailed message, pictures, this stuff, crazy. And now I know people that have done this in the past, who I've been friends with, who I don't speak to as much anymore now. And I'm not saying I'm the beacon of light when it comes to TOS, but to me, right here, you know, this is something for me. I'm like, damn, I get it. Like, I get it. You want to make money, I get it. But man, to me, it's just, you know, that's like fucked up right there. That's crazy. So now, okay, I'm watching for this guy. I'm watching for this account. I'm going to name the account too. And, you know, I say, okay, let me see what I see here. Let me start recording a couple sessions in here. And sure enough, account pops in, might play by, and this is, you can tell this guy a little bit smarter, but still a little bit smarter to fucking idiots. You know, trying to do some things where one of the accounts will play with one of the accounts. And let me just name the accounts. He names the accounts. And once again, it's a legend. And there's, you know, there's obviously a chance none of this information is correct. I could be wrong everywhere here. This could be the most unique website of all time. But the accounts here are CreateMyOwnEnergy, greenspirit, and 44 bars. Now, these are the 3 that I know about. And these are 3 that I would never know about unless it was brought to my attention. So now these players, I read about 44 bars, has some big thing where he's taking out a bunch of tournaments. And then I see these guys pop up playing high stakes Pop and together. And the other day, I saw them all playing 5100 together. 9 tables, 3 accounts managed. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? That's what I gotta say. Fuck you. That's what I gotta say to that, man. You bringing that, disrespecting the high stakes Pop and tables like that, fuck off. You know what I mean? Come on, man. 3 fucking accounts there? At least? How many more you got, man? And this is just the people we know about. And I start thinking, if these guys aren't caught, like, and they're trying to use these little things, you know, then one might leave for a little bit, come back, he might play with all 3, he might just play with 2, kind of mixes it up, like trying to be smart to dumb detectors here. But then how are the smart people, like the smart people, how are they getting away with this? I'm sure they are. Come on. It'd be naive to think that. I've been naive to this for years. I've always won. You know, I've known there's bots. I've known people are doing things like this, but I've always won, so I've been selfish a lot of ways. I'm just like, whatever, I'm winning. It's okay. You know, playing Ignition, I know crazy things happen on Ignition, but I'm winning hundreds of thousands of dollars on there, so I don't care. I'm not worried about it. You know, even Poker Stars, there's things happen on there. If I was winning on there, I'm not worried about it. Okay, I'm battling, all right, cool, whatever. You know, probably should care about it. You get on here, and it's like now, it's like, I mean, you know, now it's like, damn, this is crazy. It's the state of poker right now. This is what's happening. This is how it is. So now you have these guys, right? These guys are playing the high stakes tournaments. Who knows how many other accounts they got access to? I don't know. Am I going to count on ACR to figure this out? Fuck no. It's crazy. That's crazy. One thing, two thing, okay, but all these areas, bots, super users, collusion right there. I mean, like, to me, it's just, I just cannot recommend this site. For me, I'm not sure if I'm a degenerate. I feel like if I table select, I can get to it, but I look at the tables now, it's just like, man, suspected account. Literally account after account that pops in, the random accounts that pop in are all these accounts I've researched that I'm like, fuck, okay, these are all accounts that sort of fall in line. And I'm sure, you know, some of them are not going to be all there, but it's just very suspicious on there. And it drives you nuts. And that's where I've been driving myself nuts about this. I'm like, am I crazy? I'm crazy. This ain't happening. But it's like on all fronts. Clearly the bot stuff's happening. Okay, well, if they're allowing bots, well, what are they not allowing? You know, you see suspicious accounts show up. Clearly there are suspicious accounts on here. Okay, well, then there's got to be more suspicious accounts. Clearly there's collusion happening. Well, then there has to be more collusion going on too. So, you know, kind of making this video, I just want to draw awareness to this, guys. And I've talked about this site a lot. My main point is stay away from the site, man. I know you guys want to play. And even if you try to select, man, the thing is with the collusion and with these bots potentially being connected, the thing, they're going to make bad plays potentially against each other. You might see them lose a hand to each other, and then you're going to think, oh, I got them. But no, that's not how it works. They lose to each other. That's how it works. You see them lose to each other, you're like, oh, okay, I guess that guy can lose here. But that ain't how it works, man, okay? They paint the false picture. This is the age-old fucking, I did this back in the day, man. Like fucking back in the, you show up on well, it's too much strategy for Ignition, but you show up there and then you play like a fucking idiot, you know? Like that's what you do, and especially if the other person, you're gonna win the money no matter what, it don't matter what happens there. So, I don't know, man. Listen, I decided to make this video out there. Appreciate everybody watching out there. Appreciate, you know, and like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about this. I really am. I hope I'm all wrong. I hope none of this is happening. But the evidence is there for me. The research is there. The outside sources, conversations with people who share these same sentiments that I highly respect are there. So yeah. I hope ACR cleans it up, man. I love the site. Like I said, love the site. That's it.